the past year and a half, the alt-right movement has congealed around their new god like Denny's gravy on a country fried turd. They're so excited about being mainstreamed, alt-right leaders actually put on their big boy suits and held a press conference last month to present the hip young face of white ethnocentrism. We're gonna blur that face because he's an attention-seeking twat and we're the liberal Jew media that controls which faces get on television, so deal with it.
When you ask whites to celebrate diversity, you are asking them to celebrate their dwindling numbers. I do not want my country to become one in which my children and grandchildren are not only a racial minority, but at the rate things are going now, a hated and despised minority.
Ooh, nothing wets a woman's panties like a lecture on dwindling racial power. The Society for the Preservation of Blue Eyes even made themselves a logo. Let's just say it stressed continuity. White pride groups have always been about branding, only this time they're using hot graphic design instead of hot irons. But making reporters sit through that press conference isn't the only way the alt-right tortures journalists, especially ones they consider traitors or cucks, an emasculating slang term borrowed from porn and hurled at establishment Republicans by Redditors who watch way too much porn. National Review writer David French and his family were terrorized for months after he posted an article critical of Trump.
Some of these alt-right guys saw it and then immediately began deluging my Twitter feed with some of the worst stuff that I've ever seen. It was images of my youngest daughter, who was 7 years old at that time, a gas chamber with Donald Trump in an SS uniform, pushing the button to try to kill her, pictures, her face photoshopped into images of slaves, some of the worst racial epithets I've ever seen. And then the floodgates really opened. It went from dozens to hundreds of posts, images of African-American men being murdered. Neighbors were getting concerned for our safety, for their safety. It leaked off of Twitter and off of comment posts and into phone calls and emails and threats.
Won't it be great when these brave patriots are freed from the oppressive thumb of political correctness? The protocols of the elders of Breitbart have even inspired Trump supporters to do the unthinkable, learn a foreign language. Of course, it's German. No, you said it alt-right. Lügenpresse means lying press, and like every other umlauted word ever shouted by a white American man in a trucker hat, it's got a Nazi pedigree. It's also a rallying cry among Europe's far-right anti-Muslim groups, and that's important because today's American white nationalist isn't just gathering with other local dickheads for backyard cross-burnings and barbecues. He's on the internet, networking with other dickheads throughout the world, or at least the white parts of the world. Thanks, globalism. And for vulnerable minds, an internet journey from 4chan to Third Reich offers plenty of chances for radicalization. The Kansas City Crusader terrorists, when they weren't running around calling Somali immigrants fucking raghead bitches, were on their computers reading and sharing articles from anti-Muslim conspiracy websites. They also found time to share hilarious topical satire. Get it? It's funny because Trump grabbed women without their consent. Then there was the domestic terrorist who wrote a manifesto explaining how far-right websites had convinced him that black-on-white crime was an epidemic. It was bogus statistics like these that helped persuade him to murder 9 African Americans in a South Carolina church. The same statistics that would later be retweeted to millions of gullible white uncles by the Republican nominee for president. By design or by stupidity, Trump's campaign has casually flung open a Pandora's box of vicious gremlins without caring who they might hurt, which is pretty fucking irresponsible. I mean, not as irresponsible as using a private email server, obviously, but still bad. For as a wise lady once said, never doubt the ability of a group of pathetic white fuckboys to ruin the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Meme on the internet, so I know it's accurate. We'll be right back.